You know, calling the New Age Gospels full of shit is a pretty all inclusive thing when you don't include the best of life. I'm out here working with orgonite, crushing metals, rocks. Found this over here. Sorry, I got a bee on my one hand, and it's a little clingy. This is kind of graphite-y. A lot of graphite can be used, um, like iron pyrite or pyrite or whatever those things are. Those things kind of dissolve real quick, so it's a little more difficult to find. But it seems the metal matrix and then crystals allows, it powers it. I don't know how, but whatever. So I've had this bee, and its communications is important. When you start to notice them being clingy, your attention spans becomes shorter. Like your faculties are having to be spent babysitting. The climate's becoming colder, and it's likely this bee is intending to have that resolve with me helping. Now that requires my faculties, my attention, both in protecting it from these bees and protecting it from the elements come night, and then as well as like moments like these where I can't really move around too much because I'll get stung. I'll sit on it, I'll step on it, and so giving it my faculties over to it allows me not to forget. And being out here, it's difficult to keep on track of all the things that life throws at you, but giving the opportunity to seize a relationship with the bees is this separation between mastery. A warrior conquers itself, and nature, I think, is that component of we can conquer ourselves and we can conquer nature, but to conquer it like other ways than this is not the way. This is the way. I've made devices that allow me to cultivate a higher meaning, a greater intention. Meaning, when I go out in nature, especially in other parts of the country, honeybees gravitate towards me. Out here, it takes effort. There are other places, after 30 minutes of pulling off on the side of the road, I'll have 15 bees in a matter of 45 minutes, and it's weird. It's like they can smell you. I mean, it's in your urine. They'll lick up your urine. It's freaking weird. It's not normal behavior of a honeybee, but you know what? They don't seem to mind. And mind you, it's lonely out here. There's a bunch of freaks and witches doing perverted things and shitting on the very. You can talk about it metaphorically, figuratively, literally, walking upon Jesus or scapegoats, but they're walking on the bees. They're walking on the next generation. They're walking on this fabric, this dimensional spectrum of reality that's more important than anything in the world, and they're walking on it. Meanwhile, if they're going to walk on this, what are they promoting? Not just themselves, CIA propaganda, goddess theology, and other shit. I don't want to get into it, but, nowadays, I mean, it's like now there's algorithms allowing people to be on computers when they shouldn't have been on computers. What the fuck were churches for? To program people. What are TVs for? Program. What are computers for? But in a very sinister way. It's just getting more and more and more sinister. Irreconcilably, if you don't have a relationship with nature, you are not contributing to the community. You're not contributing to the community, you're Satanist. You're just willing to sacrifice, stem cells and aborted fetus material to fuel your vanity. Whatever it is, it's a vanity because it's your duty. All life has to serve nature. That's irrevocable law of, not maritime law, because that's more about the other shit. False hope. And bees and the comfort of other animals, not just bees, the fear and the fight or flight that we exude because of nature is sin. It puts us in a natural animalistic position, which is below the three dimensions. Assuming other animals are, but if animals are dignifying men of stature, those animals are no longer, they're greater than that. And that's what animal kingdom is about, being greater. And these guys have greatness in them, and all they are is an insect. Think they fear death? So we can learn a lot about them by accomplishing this fear that has ruled our existence. And it's ruled our existence through the power of intimidation and reward. And that is the CIA. That is the lower dimensions. They talk about higher dimensions because we all know something is awry. We all know we're capable of more in this life. But that more in this life has to dignify our role in life. That role is accessible and challenged through nature. If you don't challenge things in your life, you ain't shit. Or you got to serve those that do have that in them. It's like Nick Diaz. That boy can represent. Where all these other fighters, they don't represent. It's different time, different era. So like Gandalf and the Moth is basically gaslighting. It's elemental magic, where this is just beyond elemental magic. I use elemental magic, but this right here, this is the essence. This is the God, particle. And its language. And you can save the planet with this. You can save your own sanity. Like the comforter. Like fuck the Lord. For real. Like they ain't even on this shit. Now, I'm not like saying, damn to them, but fuck. You might as well be damned if you don't cultivate this in your society. Or your religion. Or your book of life. And I have to say, like weed and making weed illegal, the false sciences is what is allowing people to dissociate from nature, from the power of nature. The power of honey, like goddamn, there's so many ways of approaching it. It's not just nature, honey can feed us indefinitely, but if we all like choose to, I don't want to get this crazy talk, and I'm just sharing like the reality of saying fuck society and breaking the boundary, like lifting the veil. What veil? The boundaries and limitations of language, and people, the New Age Gospel CIA will talking about star people, shit like that, and what that is gaslighting is people's turmoil of being a bastard, or being a black sheep, or being just some other sodomized product, ensuring that humanity progresses in a very low dimensional primal existence. And getting outside of that primal existence, you have to acknowledge in yourself that your father sinned. That his disconnection of language with God disconnected with you. And you are gaslighting that. And you are using that with the CIA, the media, and all these other instruments that won't glorify truth, for example. There's no greater truth in the living person that you can talk about. Who gives a fuck about all that other shit? No one's, like, I don't even want to get into it because fucking, I don't know who to talk to. Fucking, anyway. This is it. Now, I tell you, it's hard to get the bees to respond to me out here. It's heavily inundated with other insects. And the natural seasonal rain, it's not consistent. But the insect thing is pretty problematic for the honeybees. There's not a lot of flowering vegetation. And, talk about rainbow love. No, you got to be planting fucking flowers and watering them. You can't be talking up, spitting out game. That's clout.